Today, we're making Canh Chua, or Vietnamese Sour Soup. This is a popular Vietnamese soup that's known for its big and vibrant flavors, and it's jam-packed with fresh herbs and veggies. The base of the soup is made with tamarind, which gives it its signature tangy flavor, and the fresh pineapple sweetness to balance out its flavor profile. The medley of vegetables includes tomatoes, okra, taro stems, and bean sprouts, which makes Canh Chua a comforting soup that is as nourishing as it is satisfying. And today, we'll be making my version with shrimp. So do me a favor and make sure you like, comment, share, and save this video. Alright y'all, remember to wash your hands. Now Canh Chua is actually a really easy soup to make, but there is quite a bit of prep work because of all the different ingredients that it has. So we'll start by prepping all of our herbs and veggies, and first up I have a pineapple, and I'm gonna cut it like a Vietnamese mom or auntie, and this technique really minimizes waste. We'll start by cutting off the bottom and the crown of the pineapple, and then trimming away the sides while trying not to remove too much of the flesh. We also want to make sure to leave the dimples of the pineapple intact so that we can use it as a guide later. Now once the exterior of the pineapple has been removed, I'm going to carve away at the dimples diagonally and remove them. And I will say alternatively, you can use pre-cut pineapples to save yourself some time, and in a pinch, canned pineapple chunks will also work as a last resort. But nothing beats fresh pineapple in the soup. We'll continue to cut the dimples away and rotate, and eventually you'll be left with a pineapple that looks like this. And from here, you can choose to cut the pineapple however you want, but I'll just cut it in half, then into quarters, remove the core, and then we'll cut into about 1-inch bite-sized pieces. And for this recipe, we'll just need half the pineapple, so you can eat the other half as a snack. And then next up, I have some okra. Okra is one of my favorite vegetables. I love the slimy texture, and it's packed full of nutrients. To prep these, we'll just trim off the stem ends, making sure to not cut into the okra pods itself. Then I have some tomatoes, and we'll just cut them into quarters. And if you like this recipe, and you want to learn how to make more of your favorite Vietnamese and Asian dishes, make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications to stay up to date on all my latest posts. Now, the next veggie is something that you may not have ever had unless you've eaten Canh Chua before, but this is called Veggie, also known as taro stems or elephant ear stems, and its name is derived from its large heart-shaped leaves that can resemble the ears of an elephant. It has a really mild and slightly earthy flavor, but its texture is incredibly unique. It's slightly crunchy, and even when it's cooked, it'll still retain its crisp and slightly spongy texture. And the best part is that it does an incredible job of soaking up the Canh Chua's broth. And to process them, we'll just start with a knife to cut into its outer layer, and then we'll just peel it off. And this is an important step as its peel is very tough and fibrous. And once we have our taro stems peeled, we'll just cut them on a bias. And then the last veggie for our soup is just bean sprouts, and we don't have to do anything particular to it other than giving it a quick rinse. Now, moving on to the next part of our prep is all of the herbs, and Canh Chua has two very distinct herbs, and without it, it wouldn't quite be Canh Chua in my opinion. The first one is called nga om, or rice paddy herb. It has a very unique, earthy, and slightly grassy flavor profile with hints of citrus and pepper, and for this herb, we're just gonna give it a rough chop. Then the next one is called ngao gai, or sawtooth culantro, and it has a strong herbaceous flavor that's also earthy and citrusy. And the two herbs perfectly complement the Canh Chua, and to process the culantro, we'll just remove the bottom end, and then we'll give that a rough chop as well. And the rest of our prep work just includes finely chopping up a white onion, green onions, and some cilantro. Now once we have all that done, we'll move on to the shrimp. This is about 2 pounds of jumbo head-on shrimp, and in my opinion, makes the best Canh Chua. because the tomali in the shrimp heads is loaded with natural glutamates, which gives it a rich umami and oceanic flavor. And I will say Canh Chua is commonly made with catfish, so you can definitely sub it out for that, or even use salmon if you want. But for these shrimp, I'm just gonna depup them by using a toothpick or skewer, stabbing it between the 4th and 5th abdominal segment, and lifting that doo-doo straight out of there. And then since we're leaving the shells of the shrimp on, I do want to cut away the rostrum and telson, which are the sharp bits on the head and tail of the shrimp, so that they don't stab you in the mouth while you're eating it. And then after that, I'll trim away some of the antennas and legs. Now, with that said and done, this might seem like a lot just because of all the different ingredients and components, but if you're organized, you should be able to get all this prep work done in about 45 minutes. And once we have that done, it's finally time to cook. So to a big stock pot, we'll add in a splash of oil, and we'll saute about 1/4 of the white onion until fragrant. We don't want them to caramelize, as we're just looking to sweat them down for a little bit. Then we'll add in a tablespoon of minced garlic. Then to the pot, we'll add in our shrimp and saute that for another couple of minutes until it starts to turn color. Then we'll pour in about 4 quarts of water. We'll bring that up to a boil, skim off the impurities, and then we're gonna fish out the shrimp to make sure that we don't overcook them. Now to the pot, we'll add in all of our veggies, including the pineapple, tomatoes, taro stems, and okra. Then I'll season our soup with 2 tablespoons of fish sauce, 2 tablespoons of chicken bouillon, 1 tablespoon of sugar, and the most important seasoning is our tamarind powder. Now, you can use tamarind pulp or fresh tamarind, but this Knorr tamarind soup base is what my mom has used my entire life and is what is authentic to me. So to the pot, I'll add in about 2 tablespoons of the base, and honestly, I do like my Canh Chua more on the sour flavor profile spectrum, so I usually end up adding way more. But with any of my recipes, I always recommend seasoning to taste and adjusting to your own flavor preferences. And remember, it's always easier to add more seasonings, but it's way more difficult to remove it, so season as you go. Then at the very end, I'll add in the bean sprouts and let that cook for another minute. And after that, I'll cut the heat, and then to the pot, we'll add in our rice patty herbs and our cilantro. We'll give that one final good mix and make any other adjustments to the seasonings, and then it's time to plate. You can serve this directly over rice or with it on the side, but we'll just ladle our soup into a bowl, making sure to get a little bit of everything. And then I'm gonna garnish the bowl with green onions, some cilantro, and then we'll add our shrimp on top. We'll finish our Canh Chua with a little bit of fresh ground black pepper, and just like that, you've made Canh Chua at home. As always, the recipe and measurements are on my blog at feedthepudge.com. And if you've made it this far, Let me know in the comment section, what's your favorite vegetable dish or soup? Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy.